Welcome back to Hawks Talk. I'm Langston Frazier, the Sports Information Student Assistant for the Hawks, covering both men and women's golf. I'm pleased to welcome in his first season as head coach for the women's golf team, Billy Dillon. Welcome to Hawks Talk.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So you were appointed as head coach in June of 2019 by Athletic Director Davison, and you're also the director of the PGA Golf Management Program here at the university. Your path to Maryland Eastern Shore, what drew you to the program, and what excites you about women's golf?
Well, what brought me to the team was I was asked. I've been on campus for 12 years running the PGA Golf Management Program, and it just seemed like a decent transition to try to help the girls out, to try to get the women's team going in a solid direction, just to get a little bit better.
That's something that we look for, and it says your roster basically remains the same from last year. You're only losing 3 student athletes: Kenzie Katayama of France, Cassidy Myers due to a transfer of universities, and then your number 1 player on the team during the 18-19 season, Josephina O, is graduating in May. And your returning team, junior captain Samaya Arcuza also returns. Junior Morgan Miner makes her return for the show after sitting out a year for her sophomore season. Sophomore Brianna Willis is back and in good health. Nyla Sims of Florida is back as well. And also Kayla Wiggins is also in the lineup for her senior season. And then rounding out the team is junior Alicia Jones. With that being said, how are you feeling about the team this year and at the halfway point?
We're doing okay. We've got 3 girls that can play fairly well, and 3 that really need to pick it up a little bit. So we're working with those 3 as hard as we can to get them ready for the spring season, just go out and have a decent showing.
So let's look at your fall schedule here. If you go forward, you started off at Hampton, and you made your way. At the Hampton Invitational. You placed in second as a team to start off the season. With your leading scorer, Arcuza, not in the lineup. Brianna Willis basically led the way for you guys, posting 80, 83, 163, 19 over par to finish. In fourth, Morgan Miner struggled during her first round. As you remember, during the first round of the tournament, shot 91, 82, 29 over par to finish in 7th. With just a strong start to the season, how does the team keep the momentum going?
Practice.
So what does that really entail for you guys?
Keeping them playing golf during their off season. So now that we're in the off season, the biggest fear I have with this team is they're going to slack off a little bit over the winter break. Wow. And the biggest thing I don't want them to do is to come back in February and be right back where we were back in September. So they know we've talked a lot about them keeping up their practice skills and giving time to their game, because they can't you don't just get better and get a little bit better and we don't want to move 2 steps forward and take 1 step back. We want to just keep on moving, and we'll see where it goes.
So from Hampton, Virginia, like you were saying, you're off to the Green Turtle Invitational hosted by Shenandoah University. The Hawks get one of the best finish in program history, finishing in 3rd place, beating out 4 other teams. It's one of your best events of the fall season. Brianna Willis won another stellar performance, posting 84, 81, 21 over the par to finish in 4th. Showing consistency again from her previous tournament. Samaya Arcuza tees it up for the first time that season, 82, 89, 171, 27 over par. Gets her first top 10 of the season in a tie for 8th. And then Morgan Miner again gets off to a rough start, but turns it around during the second round with the 93, 81 to finish the tournament in 11th. What do you think is clicking for these student athletes during play?
Well, that particular tournament, Shenandoah, was a little bit out of their element. That was a mountainous golf course. Of course, we all know what it's like practicing on the Eastern Shore, where it's dead flat, and we throw them up in the mountains and on some hills, and they handled it pretty well. Does it make it different from the way they approach shots or distances? Yeah, absolutely. So we definitely had a couple days of practice sessions on that, on the different lies that you might have, whether the ball's above your feet, below your feet, downhill, uphill. The different kind of lies that you're going to get that you don't necessarily get here on the Eastern Shore. So yeah, we practiced those, and they put those skills to test, and they came through pretty well.
Well, that turns around because you're on the mountains and you're in the Shenandoah Valley, but then you come home for a home match advantage, hosted in Berlin, Maryland. It's the Maryland Eastern Shore Collegiate Golf Challenge. You make a rare move out of the season. What we've seen, you decide to put your whole lineup in the field, and it's resulted in the highest ever finish in this event, second place. It's a difference in this tournament, and you completed. Compared to other tournaments, you competed all on one day compared to how it's usually done, where you do 18 your first day, 18 your second day, and that's what's due to weather. And they're seeing two completely different courses. Samaya Arcusa with 83, 70, or 87, 170, 26 over par, finished in sixth place. Morgan Minor did well 82, 90, or 89, 171, 27, finished in seventh place as well. And then Brianna Willis just slipping just a little bit, 91, 95, 186 to 42 over par, finished in 12th place. And then Isla Sims finished in 14th, Jones in 15th, and Wiggins in 16th place. How have the teams been adjusting to your approach and practices as opposed to what they've been used to in the past?
Well, I don't really know what they were used to in the past. They seem to be adjusting to my coaching style pretty well. I just like to try to make practice as fun as I can for them while being productive at the same time. That's very, very important. If they're not having fun doing it, what's the point? So we do want to go out, and we do want to put up the best numbers that we can. I think that might be a little bit of a culture change for them. I'm not really sure. But, yeah, I mean, this is about winning golf tournaments and improving a program, and that's all we're trying to do. We're the very, very beginning steps of that. Now, that Ocean City tournament, yeah, that was a little bit different, where the young ladies are not used to playing 36 in one day. And we had to do that because of weather. We were dodging the rain on the second day, so we decided to play the ladies 36 in one day, which the guys do most every tournament.
Yeah.
But the ladies hardly ever do that. And it's a little tough on them. You can see the scores went up a little bit in the second round for two reasons. One, that the Seaside golf course compared to Newport's a little bit more difficult. And they were getting tired.
Yeah.
They just aren't used to carrying their clubs for 36 holes in a day. And, it is what it is. And you always take that into account as a coach. And just got to tell them keep on going. That last 9 holes on the day, it's going to be a little tough on them. And you just be out there, support them the best you can, and go from there.
So you do pretty well in that event, and then you're off to your final stop of the season. The Shore heads up to Pennsylvania to tee it up in the Lehigh Invitational. At Saucon Valley Golf Club, which we both know, have both been to, it's a very tough golf course. You had a slippery practice round and a slippery second round due to some rain and some cold conditions, resulting in the worst finish of the season, 10th. The lowest round was actually shot during the second round by Samaya Arcusa with 86, one of the strongest fields the Hawks have faced all season. What keeps the players motivated, again, even in these rainy and tough cold conditions?
Well, that tournament was a test. We wanted to see where we are. And we were playing teams that are certainly out of our element, not MEAC schools, a little better competition. And I just wanted to see where we were. Now, the Saucon Valley, yeah, they have hosted numerous major tournaments over the years. Fastest greens by far these ladies have ever played on, which really, really made a difference in their scoring. And when you put them in those kind of conditions, it wasn't really the cold. It really wasn't that bad. The practice round was terrible. It was we only got 5 holes in because the rain was so bad. But during the tournament itself, they did the best they could.
Yeah.
I knew I was putting them in a very tough situation against more talented players, let's say. I knew what we were doing. And just to see where we were and put them on a very tough golf course. And they did okay.
Yeah.
Now, we only had one. Samaya's the only one that even broke 90. Yeah, I was a little disappointed about that. But that lets us know and opens our eyes. Okay, this is really where we are. And these are the things that we truly need to work on to get better.
But even in those conditions and the field size that you had in the competition, you're still expecting them to perform on a high level.
Sure. Not expecting them to shoot in the 90s.
Yeah.
Not expecting them to break 80 either, but I'm not expecting them to shoot in the 90s.
Yeah. So something that I've noticed and a key trend in your schedule over the fall swing is all your tournaments have been within a 2.5 hour drive of the Shore. This most recent tournament actually being one of your furthest stops of this season. With playing so close to home as possible, is that a part of your strategy for this team for this year, as we've been seeing of late, as far as their success that we've had on the course?
It is for now, for two reasons: budget and recruiting. I think it's very important in recruiting to try to get the as local as we can to start off with. Let's get the local ladies first, and then start broadening out. And the closer we stay to home, I think for now, the more they'll see us, and maybe give us a chance.
So if we take a look here, let's look at the team averages as we prepare to go into the fall break. And let's take a look at some of the scoring averages. Samaya with a 87, Brianna Willis with the 87.50, just behind her Morgan Minor with the 87.88 stroke average, Nyla Sims 107, Kayla Wiggins 112, and Alicia Jones is 120. But if we look back at some prior stats, I was able to find them out. And let's take a look.
What are those averages pre-Saucon Valley?
Pre-Saucon Valley. They haven't really changed much.
Okay.
They haven't really changed much. So let's look at the averages here. Compared to Morgan Minor, her freshman year, obviously she took her sophomore year off. She's down 6 strokes. Kayla Wiggins from her sophomore year when she started with the program, she's down 16 strokes. Alicia Jones down almost 30 strokes. And then Brianna Willis from her freshman season last year to now, she's down almost 3 strokes. And then Arcusa coming in from transferring her freshman year, she's down almost 3 strokes as well from when she started her freshman year. And Nyla down almost 11 strokes. What do you think about the playing routines and the style that's going forward to help those?
I just think it's short game practice.
Short
Keeping the ball in play a little bit more and just short game practice. Making a few more putts, getting a few more chips close to be able to make the putt, and that's really all there is to it.
So obviously that's a room for improvement and build traction. So what are the things that you're going to be looking to improve upon getting ready for the spring swing?
Well, like I just said, you got to keep the ball in play. So we're going to continue working on ball striking, trying to hit the center of that club face the best we can, to keep the ball in play, to not hit it in the water, to not hit it out of bounds, and have to take a stroke and distance penalty. You start knocking down those stuff. Bunker play, that tends to be an issue sometimes. We work on that a little bit. And yeah, but as you know, it's all the putting.
Yeah,
it's all the putting. That's always comes down to putting, no matter what. So that we're always working on that every day, and we come up with different drills and different games that we play, just to try to get them to make those 10-footers.
And I'm assuming they've been receptive of the practice that's been going on.
Seem to be.
Good.
They show up.
So lastly, your spring schedule is not out yet, but we've taken a look at it, and we're looking forward to it. What's going to define a successful season for you guys in your first season as head coach?
We set a goal at the beginning of the season. We were ranked 260th in D1 women's golf. Our goal is to move up 50 places. We want to finish at 210 by the end of May.
And how do you feel like you're on a track to that right now?
Not as good as we should be.
But
we'll see.
But hopefully getting there.
We'll see.
Getting there. Well, I
believe we are adding another player for the spring, which should help bring that scoring average down too. So we'll see what happens.
So well, we're looking for it. I think the Hawks are trending in the right direction. Well, folks, it's Billy Dillon. He's the head coach of the Maryland Eastern Shore women's golf team. Billy, thank you for joining me, and the best of luck the rest of the season.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
When we come back, Will DeBoer will be here to take you through the week ahead for our teams on the shore and wrap up this week's episodes. That and more when we return to Hawks.